Okay, I want to be clear that we understand linguistic reflexivity because they go over it a little quickly. So with linguistic reflexivity, we're really leaning into the reflexivity part. So language is a way to analyze language. That's what the reflexivity part is. Language is a way for us to reflect on something so that we can make sense of it. And we're going to do that all through language. And that's where language is reflexive. Like we are literally building and stuck. Once we acquire language, we are stuck in this loop of using language to communicate, using language to reflect on our communication, how it went, how it's going, using language to reflect on our identity. Was I the person that I thought I was in that situation? So these videos. Am I the professor that I want to be, so that you can understand, because we're getting into kind of complicated rhetoric, so you can understand this complex rhetorical theory right now. What does that look like? I'm using language to do that. I'm using language to communicate about that, but I'm also using language to reflect on how did it go and what did that look like. And so linguistic reflexivity is really focused on that idea that language is the way we communicate and symbols are the way we communicate. So again, my clothing, I've got this stuff around me, all of that is communicating. My whole office is communicating. You're all probably trying to figure out like what's on my wall and what's going on here. All of that is communicating, and what it's communicating, you are reflecting on with language, linguistic reflexivity. You're considering, you're thinking through, you're naming, you're looking at, I've got a lot of colors here, so you're naming the colors and you're emotionally connecting with the colors, and you're doing a lot of that work through language to make sense of. That's linguistic reflexivity, is the use of language to reflect on the use of language. How did it go? We want to understand and analyze its effectiveness, its impact, our reaction to, our kind of connection to, because we don't have to necessarily communicate. I mean, we did this in the discussion board, right? We don't have to communicate. We don't have to be convinced and then do something, but we're always going to reflect on. So yes, we have the ones where we're like, remember that one time that I did that horrible thing and it sucks really bad? But we also do it on the everyday basis, so while I'm walking, I'm like, oh gosh, I want to think about my shoes. They don't feel good right now. I should probably get new shoes. Or my shoes feel really good. Awesome. Go me. Nothing's changing, but I'm still reflecting on, through language, something that's going on right now. So linguistic reflexivity, at its simplest, is using language to reflect on language, but it's really communicating a lot about how, like, the expanse of language use for us to make sense of everything. And that's where rhetoric is like, that's why everything's rhetoric.